This is the Manta 5 SC. It's a 5-inch freestyle FPV drone, and its main feature is its price. You can find it for about $150 on AliExpress. Well, the price is going to vary depending on what sale AliExpress is running and what coupon codes are available, but in general, you should be able to pick it up for about $150 US. I bought this one with my own money, and after coupon codes, it ended up costing about $140, so that's a pretty incredible value. And it comes just like this. It's a bind and fly drone. It has an analog video transmitter and an express LRS receiver, so it's all up to date. And I think it really is in a class of its own at this $150 price point. I think the closest competitor to this is the iFlight Nazgul 5 Eco, but that thing costs $200. That's their Eco version of their Nazgul 5. This thing is a full $50 cheaper at $150, so yeah, you're saving a bunch of money. Now this is a bind and fly drone, so it only comes with the drone itself. You're gonna have to supply your own radio, goggles, and battery. And so here's what I have. I have a Radio Master Pocket Radio, Express LRS version. I have Eachine EV800D analog goggles, and I'm using CNHL Speedy Pizza 6S batteries, 1350 milliamp hours. Anything from like 1200 to 1400 milliamp hours should be just fine. And even though this thing is so cheap, the components used on this drone are actually pretty good. So all the parts are mostly Access Flying, like in-house brand, and that's how they can get the price so cheap, because they can manufacture every single part on this drone. And so the motors are their 2207 motors. They're like 1900 kV-ish. So this will take a 6S LiPo. So yeah, fully modern motors that take 6S LiPo power. That's good to see. The flight stack is an F4 stack. First of all, I gotta say, look at the soldering on the motors. That is some absolutely beautiful soldering on the motor wires. They have it like kind of cascading up from the sides. I've never seen that kind of soldering style before. It looks really clean, and I wish I knew how to do that or how they did that. Did they use like robots to do this or something? I don't know, but it is some very slick soldering, which I'm pretty surprised to see from such a budget drone. And this is a fully modern flight controller, so it has a USB-C port. They even spent the extra money, and you could see down here there's like a little black cylinder. That's a buzzer, I think. So they spent the extra money to put a buzzer on the drone, which is pretty unusual. I actually don't know why you need an external buzzer when you could just use the motor beeper instead. But yeah, there is a buzzer on the drone. The video system, the $150 ones, they're all going to come with an analog video system, and so it has a 1.6 watt analog video transmitter, which is pretty nice. And it's not a cheap one that's just like a bare circuit board. It has a full CNC machined aluminum case. It's a nice like little cyan blue to kind of go with the theme. I do appreciate that they do also have a blue theme going on. So it comes with blue props. The frame is, I don't know what this is. It's like they're like screen printed with this blue texture to it. It's all carbon fiber, of course, but they added these like blue decals. All the aluminum bits are nice cyan blue, so the front camera plates and the rear video transmitter are all matched with the same blue. I think this frame was designed for analog or the O3 air unit, which is why it has like soft mounting gummies. So right now it does have the analog video system in it, but if you do want to toss a DJI O3, it looks like you can do that as well, because it has the little soft mounting inserts 3D printed over here, and the mounting holes. It has the little 25mm mounting holes for the O3. So yeah, for $150, you get a pretty darn decent drone with all modern, up-to-date parts. The only thing I want to say is that you might want to upgrade to the one with the GPS. I'm kind of regretting it. In the box, they do give you the 3D print, actually, so if you do want to add your own GPS, you can do that. I think it like screws on over here, and so you can add your own GPS if you want. But you can option it with a GPS, I believe, on the AliExpress listing page, and it only adds like $15 or $20, and I think that will be a good value in the end. So just something to consider if I was going to do this all over again. I think I would pay the little bit of extra money and get the GPS pre-installed. So yeah, that was a quick tour around the Manta 5. Now let's take it on a flight. Alright, it's a cold wintry day at the pond, and for this flight I have my GoPro on the drone. That's the main video you're seeing now. The analog goggle view is on the bottom right with all the OSD elements, and that's the view I'm seeing when I'm flying. And in the air, the Manta 5 feels pretty solid and planted, and they did take some time to put a custom tune on the drone that feels pretty good. And just a heads up, they did change the rate profile from the stock Betaflight rates, so it does feel a little bit different to fly. Most noticeably, I think they turned down the yaw rate by a lot, so I need to use a lot more yaw stick than I'm normally used to. So my first change on this drone will probably be to put the stock Betaflight rates back on it. Besides that, the drone flies just how I want it, and the thing I'm most surprised by are the motors. They spin smoothly and are balanced from the factory, making them very efficient. On slower flights, without a GoPro, I can get over 7 minutes of flight on the CNHL battery, and on faster flights like this, with a GoPro, I can still get about 5 minutes of flight time, which is on the upper end in terms of these 5-inch drones with this kind of setup. I'm liking these motors so much that I've actually ordered more spare motors for use in other 5-inch drone projects, and I think I'll be using these over my typical iFlight Zing motors that I've been using before. The Zing motors have a lot of power, but they're really inefficient, so I'd rather have the efficiency of these Axis Flying motors. As for the other parts, the video transmitter worked fine with no hiccups the entire time. The camera is alright for analog video, there's good detail and the field of view is pretty wide. Compared to something like a Caddx Ratel 2, I definitely prefer the Ratel 2 as this Axis Flying has a little bit more barrel distortion in the image, but overall it's still pretty good. So yeah, for $150 you get a really solid 5-inch drone with no big downsides. And because Axis Flying makes every single component and builds these in bulk, this kind of drone can't really be DIY'd for any cheaper. It's the economies of scale that makes this such a good value. So if you don't already have a 5-inch drone and you want a pre-built one, this one is probably the best value drone you can pick up. That being said, if you already have a 5-inch drone, there's no special reason to pick this up, it's just your standard old 5-inch drone. Links to it will be in the description below, and I'll try to post current coupon codes in the comments too. Thanks for watching, and I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel.